welcome to the Jazz and Friends podcast, episode number 31. Today's episode is Bilhah. How are you? How's it going?
I'm pretty good, just getting through the day.
Yeah, it's been quite a long day. We're filming it after school, I guess. We're going to discuss lots of topics such as sports. I know you love your footy, running, cycling, like most sports, I'm guessing. Obviously, quite interesting. You've got no social media. I don't know how
Oh,
you're living without social
that's
media,
a
but yeah.
completely different topic. I'll get to that.
Studying habits, because yeah, you have some great study tips for people. I'm sure you'll give me a few as well. Obviously Poseidon, we spoke just before. They label us as Slytherin, but we're more than that. Anyway, and the money topic, funny stories, which we love. So might as well get started. So the first topic is called hypotheticals, which your good friend Raya introduced in the first place, which is the question is, if you could run your own podcast, similar to maybe Jez and Friends, but what would you call it?
Oh, I'd call it Silly Billy because oh, I feel like
Uh,
a lot of people think of me as like a serious person, which I really find confusing. But like, I feel like I say a lot of crazy stuff sometimes that I really don't think about. So
yeah,
Silly Billy, definitely.
yeah, that's really good. And would you like just be the host yourself, or like have a co-host, or how would
I would
you?
have a
Yeah,
co-host because I listen to podcasts and I like hear a lot of like co-hosts add on things to other people who've forgotten about it, and so definitely co-host.
yeah, 100%. I mean, I started one with Jack, and it feels like slightly better with a co-host because you're not the one just
Yeah,
asking all the
it's
questions
more
and stuff.
comforting. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Um, and now we'll talk about music because I know you probably have a different taste to everyone for sure, but all podcasts as well. But what like types of music or artists do you listen to?
Oh, my music taste. This is very interesting. So I like some pretty basic songs, which is really sad, but I'm also quite oh um I'll put it this way. My brother sees my music taste as basic, but also very like posh because I like really basic music, like the pop, like Ariana Grande, Justin
Yeah,
Bieber. Don't judge me.
no, no, I
And
listen to
then,
that as well.
and then I like the type of music that you'd see like rich people like from movies listen to while like eating steak and drinking red wine,
Yeah,
like classical jazz and like instrumentals and all that. So it's like it's really crazy. It's just I don't know. Yeah.
yeah, like what artists from like
Mm.
classical jazz do you mean?
Oh, I don't have a specific artist, but I do listen to like collections, like some collections they've made, um, and like some on YouTube as well, like already pre-made or live things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same, like a bit of everything. Like I could listen to pop and be fine with that, or rap, or just yeah,
yeah,
whatever you feel, you know. Yeah,
exactly. It's in the moment. Yeah, can't really decide throughout.
yeah,
Yeah,
100%. And what about podcasts? Because you listen to podcasts.
yeah.
What type of podcast?
I have this one main podcast that I listen to called The Health Code, and
Yeah,
basically this couple who live in Sydney, they have this fitness journey that's taken them for like over 10 years, and they show their journey and their tips and their guidance and all of that, and they're just so relatable because they're just trying to not look at health and fitness as like a monthly thing, like do this for 30 days and you get all this, but like
yeah, yeah.
as a lifestyle, something to live forward, like something to live through and look forward to. um, and I also listen to the Who This podcast.
Who's
It's
this?
also it's also like it's all fitness, but it's really relatable because
Yeah,
it like gives you like a new perspective.
yeah, 100%. I might have a listen because
Yeah,
yeah,
highly
it will
recommend.
help like health and fitness for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. And speaking of health and fitness, we're going to talk about Strava because a few of us like me, Billy, Soul use it quite a bit. So, um, yeah, how Strava helped you and what are the benefits? I guess.
Oh, Strava is wow. Strava is just like it's really great when it comes to keeping track of your progress.
Yeah,
It helps you like see if you've moved back or if you're actually pushing forward to your goals. And it also like it helps you remember what routes and routines you'd like to go towards, and if you have like achieved any badges or like trophies, or if you've become like the local legend. And it's
Yeah,
just like,
like you, the
yeah.
local legend of
um
Epsom Road or something.
yeah, yeah, like the other day. It also like it gives you something to talk about with somebody else. Like I know with Jerry, he's like amazing at running, and so
Oh, yeah, thank
yeah,
you.
he just did 11Ks the other day. So
Yeah,
when I see that he's like done that, you just give him like a thumbs up and just add a comment. It's really great. Yeah.
yeah, it motivates like others, like your mates, to
Yeah,
run as well. Because if
exactly.
I see solo you running, it motivates me to run as
It's
well.
like you
Yeah,
have to try keep up with the
yeah,
best in the world. Yeah.
100%. And yeah, running is a sport as well. People think it's just like doing it for staying fit and active, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
a sport as well. And I know you love your footy, but before we talk about that, are there like any other sports you're into?
I'm really into rugby,
Rugby?
except yeah,
Well,
I know it's crazy.
yeah,
Because before I moved to this school, I was in an international school back in Africa and Tanzania, and I
yeah.
played rugby, and so I played that for a year and then had to move here, and so it
Oh
was really
wow.
hard for me to find like rugby teams in Victoria because it's more common in like
Yeah.
Queensland, all those areas around there, and so people recommended like doing footy, and I was like, I don't know what that is. I've never done it before. And so
Oh.
I remember going to the first training session at night, and it was freezing and it was raining, and I was
And
just
you wear
like,
shorts for
and I was
footy and it's
yeah, and I
cold,
was like,
yeah.
I'm not doing this, and I just tried it out. And so luckily with rugby, it was so easy to like transition with the skills to footy because they're
Yeah.
very similar. Yeah, but I know that it was just rugby is so much more um, full on because you have to do full body tackles and it's just more aggressive. But
Yeah.
yeah, oh gosh.
Couldn't do rugby.
But I know, yeah. So rugby, definitely
Yeah,
like
that's
rugby. I
amazing.
could go on and on.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so you're from Tanzania, right? Like, talk us
Yeah.
through, like, when you came to Australia, what language and stuff they speak there.
Oh,
Yeah.
so this is my background is very
Yeah,
interesting.
go for it.
Yeah. So my family is very diverse. So my mom is from Tanzania and my dad is Australian. And
Yeah.
so my dad had two kids before divorcing his wife.
Oh, okay.
And so he got together with my mom who had already had me, but I hadn't met my birth dad. So I hadn't known him. So
Oh, yeah. That
yeah,
makes
so my
sense. Yeah.
stepdad is the only dad that I've known. My mom and dad met and had our little sister, Georgia. And so once I moved from there, I moved 2 years ago, so April, like around April in 2019.
Yeah.
And so when I moved here, I remember my mom and dad, and like it was like a family meeting, and they sat me down, and I just happened to sit in my little sister's like little
Yeah.
small chair, so like everyone was looking down on me, and they all said, "So we have some big news. You're going to Australia. You're going to school. We won't come with you, but your older sister will be there because she lives with her stepmom,
Yeah.
but we see each other quite a lot." And so they were introducing me to all the crazy things like be careful who you hang around with, like look out for essays. And I was like, what's an essay? And so it was so crazy. And
Look at the
they're like,
essays.
just be careful with who you hang around with. You don't want to get into the wrong crowd, which you can't blame them if you're sending your child like across a continent. But I remember the first 2 weeks it was really hard because I was scared and I was making up these scenarios in my
Yeah, yeah.
head. And so until like Dylan Russo pulled me over and said, "Hey, come hang out with us." And so I made friends with them
Oh, wow,
and I
yeah.
made more friends. But it's so different. Like kids from continents, like different continents, are like very different. They act so differently. So it was a pretty weird transition.
Yeah, so, what was it like, like back in Tanzania? Like,
Oh,
the language, did you speak another language or?
yeah, I do speak two languages. So I speak first language that I learned is Swahili, which is the main language that we
Oh, yeah.
speak in Tanzania, and then I learned English because I went to international schools, which had like teachers and students from like America, England, all those
Yeah, you
places.
sound kind of American with your
Yeah, I
accent.
get that a lot. I really do
Yeah,
get that a lot. It's crazy.
yeah, it's amazing.
Did I even answer the question? I just drifted
Um,
off. Yeah,
yeah, I guess so. Like, it was an extra question I kind
yeah,
of squeezed in. So yeah. Um, and let's talk about your footy now, because you love your footy. You played for Moonee Valley, and you won a grand final there last. Nah, it can't have been like the year before.
yeah.
Yeah, the year
2019.
before.
Yeah.
and give us a rundown on what's it like winning a grand final, because I've experienced it as well. It feels so
It
good.
feels so good. Oh, it would
Yeah.
actually. 2019 was a really lucky year for us because our team. I played for the under 15s, which is now the under 16s.
Yeah.
And so we started off with 10 girls. Went into the grand final with 24 girls. Won it by 4 goals, and like the other team got 1 point. I kicked 2 of the goals, so it was like top of the highlight of that moment. I was so proud.
Yeah.
And then luckily our under 11s and our under 13 girls won their grand final as well in the day, but the under 18s got disqualified for something before. So, but it was really crazy. It was so good. It was like everyone just happened to like win everything. Like we were all just hoping that everyone won all their games, and so we were really happy. Yeah.
So 11s, 13s, and 15s won.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And you play full forward, right? What's
Yeah,
that like?
full
I
forward.
hate, like, I'm too short to play full forward, so like, you
Full
play full forward,
Full
yeah.
forward is you have to be really quick on your feet to like go in, like go out, grab the ball, turn
Yeah.
around, kick,
Kick goals.
kick, and you just have to like kind of maneuver your body into the right places, and everyone's running at you, and it's just like it's really crazy. But I know that my kicking is not the best, but it just happens to somehow get to there. So my kicking goes really high,
Yeah.
but then it loses distance in the air and then just like drops
That
down
makes sense,
halfway.
yeah.
So you have to just be like have like some really powerful kicks to be full forward.
Yeah. As long as you get it through the big sticks, that's the
Yeah,
main, main
exactly.
goal,
Yeah,
yeah.
and have like some quick short distance running, just like be able to sprint really quickly.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
speed work will help
Speed
with
work
that,
would
yeah.
help, yeah.
For sure. And let's talk about the house we're in, obviously, Poseidon, the Invincibles, I
Yeah.
call us.
Greatest house.
Yeah, what do you reckon we'll achieve this year? We could go back to back, maybe, or like, what do you think?
I
Don't want to
reckon.
speak too soon, but yeah.
Yeah, we can't really say much already, but I reckon that our biggest rivals that we need to really watch out for is the one team I just Athena. Oh, these guys get me.
Oh, yeah,
But like
same.
I think Athena's really good. Athena's really good. They're coming like they're chasing us. They're right on our tails. And so we just need to watch out for them and have them as like a set point, like to remind us that we need to keep going. We need to keep striving higher and higher. And so I think we can just if we get more participation and more involvement and more like enthusiasm in the team from the sevens all the way up to 12,
Yeah.
then we can actually get to the top again.
Yeah, I hope we.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we won the swimming. Yeah. Not gonna
I
speak
really
too
hope
soon.
so.
Maka said it was 10 points between us, but
Oh yeah, he didn't tell me actually.
it's pretty funny because yeah, I'm the house captain. I did 0 events that day. As yeah,
You
pretty sad.
didn't?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
not gonna talk.
I tried to do all.
Yeah,
I tried to
it's like the opposite.
I tried to be the best. I was like, oh, but the year
Yeah,
sevens like really helped out with the
yeah,
dancing,
they
so
did
that was
really
really
well.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saving myself for athletics.
Oh yeah, we need you then.
I cannot swim. Oh.
Okay.
And the quote of a podcast is push yourself because nobody's gonna do it for you.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a brilliant quote. And is there a quote or something you live by, Billy?
Oh yeah, so like I was talking about before with the podcast, the health code.
Yeah.
So the couple that runs it, the wife, the girlfriend anyway, she always says this quote that act confident and no one will question you, which I think is so very true. Because half of the time nobody realizes that I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just doing it because why not? You only ever live that one moment once.
I love that.
Exactly, right? And so that 1 minute is just going to go by forever and you just have the vague memory of it, or people will just look back at it, and you want to make sure that you live every moment to its full potential, and like being confident about it is just going to boost your enthusiasm and make you like feel amazing about what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
you said to me the other day, you're like, pretend you're presenting at assembly. Yeah, your heart would be beating 1,000,000 miles per hour, but then
Exactly.
you look so confident when you're
Nobody
presenting.
knows.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Nobody
But
knows.
You know, yeah.
Like up in the assemblies, like my heart is racing. I'm scared if I'm gonna jumble up the words, but like nobody knows because like I try to say them as clear as possible.
They don't know how you're feeling, then Yeah, it's better that
No,
way,
because
probably. Yeah.
if you think about it from their perspective, they're looking at you and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're so confident. How do you do that?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm dying inside. But I only let you see what I want you
Oh,
to see."
yeah,
Yeah,
that's really good. I need to try and adopt that as well next time
exactly.
I speak at
I'm
assembly.
still trying to
Yeah,
perfect 50.
no, I should learn from you. And we'll talk about books now. I know you love your books as well. You read
Love my
quite a fair
books.
bit. So do I. And yeah, what's the last book you've read?
Oh, I'm currently reading a book called the Dictionary of Lost Words, which is a bit popular right now.
Yeah, what's it about?
Um, it's kind of about in the olden days when they're just constructing the dictionary and perfecting it and like getting words in from all the other people. And
Yeah,
so this little girl, she grows up in this scriptorium, which is where they write up all the words and perfect them. And so she becomes really smart because she's learning all these big words. And so she kind of like shows her perspective and her role of how this whole dictionary is going on.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting. So how long is the book? Not too long or
About
moderate?
almost 400 pages. So
Yeah,
you kind
yeah.
of froze there. You were like, what?
Yeah,
It's I
I'm
don't
fine,
yeah,
but
because the book you're reading is like
boys,
almost yeah, Boy
like
Swallows Universe.
close to 500. So 400,
Okay,
yeah, around the
so
same mark.
yeah,
I don't know why I froze there. Yeah,
yeah. So I don't know. I haven't read any massive books recently, but
yeah.
I'm trying to get to. This is crazy, but I'm trying to get to 80 books for the year as like a goal. I know, I know it's really hard, but
That's
I'm like four
amazing.
books behind, so I
How many
need to
did you
catch
read
up.
last year?
I think I only got up to like 25 or
No, I
30.
remember you did the reading challenge
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
were
I
fine.
did.
Yeah,
I
you
went
smashed it.
fine, but like I just
80
want to like
books.
it's a lot, but like if you really think about it, books really do help you.
Yeah, for
And so
sure.
I know a lot of people that say, "Oh, reading is crazy. Why wouldn't you? Why would you read if school doesn't make you read? Like if you don't really have
Yeah,
to." But I think that nobody can ever really hate reading. You haven't found the right book for you
yeah.
or
You
the
just need to
right
find
genre.
like the
Exactly.
genre, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know a lot of my friends, they just like, well, they would read, but they wouldn't really like
They
to
just do
read.
it because like the 10 minutes of reading in
Exactly,
class and all
yeah.
that.
Or they would
Yeah.
like rather watch a movie, listen to music, or like do other things. But it literally gives you like so many getaways. Like it's like another world that you get into just to escape all things.
Yeah.
And like if you ever have that one moment when you're reading and you're just so deeply focused into it that it feels like you're like in the book and you're like watching it play out like a movie in your head.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah.
when you feel like you're there, but you're not
Exactly.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
actually found out the other day that some people, when they read, they don't see a movie playing out in their head.
They
They just
just.
see words.
I'm like, how is that
I don't
possible?
understand how people do that, but like I can not only see words, I see like a whole like lifeline on words.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly.
If you're just reading words, then you should quit reading. Or like, what's the
I don't
point?
know
Like,
I
yeah,
don't know how people like do that, but I see more than just words. Other
yeah,
people don't see that, but I can't really blame them. It can't be for everybody anyway.
yeah. All right, let's speak about Boy Swallows Universe because I just finished it. Amazing
Oh,
book. But what are your thoughts on it? Because the main protagonist Eli, he does so many things at once, and it feels chaotic. But at the
yeah.
same time, it's like,
Wait, please recap me on the books. I've read like a lot between then, so
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to
makes
remember what
sense.
happened.
So Eli is like 13 or something. He has a mute brother August who like doesn't talk much,
Yeah,
scribbles stuff in the air. He has a babysitter who used to be in jail called Slim.
yeah, yeah.
His mum's a drug dealer as well, so was his stepdad. When like they get separated, all that,
And there's that
and he
mysterious
lives with
dead
his dad
child.
for a little bit as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
His dad is like an alcoholic.
Oh my gosh, yes, I
Then he
remember.
gets his finger chopped off by this drug dealer called Tardis or something. But
Yep.
he
Mhm.
comes back in the end and frames Tardis by like doing
Yeah.
the because Tardis had like so many different um body parts or something for his invention. But yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Like
oh god,
I think, uh, I think that the mute brother could have really made like another world for them. Like could have made like another life for them. So
yeah,
he, considering he was really smart, he could have done like a lot more. But I can't really remember why he chose not to speak. He knew a lot of stuff. He knew a lot of secrets of like the future and like what was going to happen next.
yeah,
Yeah, but like and there was that mysterious red phone that with someone calling them all the time.
Yeah, I thought it was August, but I'm not
Yeah, I
too
thought it
sure.
was him
Yeah,
too, but he just happened to be in the same room.
Nah, it can't have been.
But we'll try not to spoil it for whoever's gonna read
Yeah,
it next.
yeah.
We just like
We'll
put out
just-
the whole book.
Yeah, just recommend it to
Yeah,
people.
it's
and,
so
yeah,
so good.
they have to read it.
I know the book was like literally passed down from my aunt to my dad to
Oh,
me,
really?
and
Wow.
everyone was like, "Billy, you need to read this," and I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
But it's so so good. Highly recommend.
For some reason, the cover makes people think it's like too extravagant, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I looked at the cover and I was expecting like
too much.
I was expecting like
Yeah.
fantasy, like something else to hit me, but it's so good.
Yeah.
And it got really really famous last year or the year before.
Yeah, probably during lockdown, maybe.
Yeah.
People just
And
like,
then
read it and all that. Yeah.
right, and the author actually came up with a new novel this year. I don't know what it's
Yeah, I
called,
should probably
but
read that as well.
I want to get to it as
I
well.
forgot, yeah.
But it's so weird. Like it was just such a crazy book. It was like a roller coaster. It was so up and down.
Yeah, God.
This is
You
what-
just felt, yeah.
This is what books do to you. They're like
Yeah.
movies, but like better.
Would you classify? Yeah, we're probably bookworms. That's why we're like
Yeah,
so
exactly.
into it. Yeah.
Everyone else listening to this
They're
is like
like,
nerds.
just skip this segment. Or
Yeah,
don't like
skip
nah.
to like 10 minutes later.
Just read, but like if you're not like us, just read, but like yeah, not too. I don't know
Yeah.
how to explain
Can
it.
I
but
add
yeah.
in a tip?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So when you like, if you want to actually get into reading and like be more involved with it, I recommend like starting off with like figure out what you like. If for example go to your movies, figure out what genres you more like, and
Yeah.
if you like mystery, thriller, fantasy, romance, there's so many that you pick from. And then if you relate more to one, find a book that you would like
Yeah. for sure.
that follows that thing, and so read it for like 10 minutes. Start off small because you don't want to like bombard yourself,
Yeah,
but like
that's me sometimes.
yeah. And so but you have to understand that sometimes you won't always go into like the first book that you pick out. It takes a while to get into it, and you will go through like reading slumps where you don't read for a while. Saul's going through that right now.
Yeah, I remember he's like, oh, I haven't read a book in a while.
Yeah, exactly. And so but like just give it time. It's one of those things that will happen when it happens.
Yeah, like I remember year 9, I just read books for the sake of reading. I wasn't interested, but then like something hit me, and I'm like,
Yeah, it just
I'm back into reading books again, and it's continued until
it's
now.
out of nowhere. And take advantage when you're still in the younger like a lower class that you have more time to read. Oh my gosh. I've been having less time to read lately,
Yeah,
which is terrible.
sometimes I try to do it before I sleep.
Yeah,
Like,
which is really good.
Yeah.
And then you end up staying up too late.
yeah.
I've done that a couple of times. It's really bad.
It's like, oh,
It's like
next
one
chapter.
more chapter, and then you get there and you're like, I'll do
Oh,
it till
yeah.
12, and like it's 12:01. Why not 31?
Yeah, I think we're getting carried away.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it a money segment from now on because it's where most people love to have a look or listen. But yeah, it's like funny stories. So do you have one either from school, back in Tanzania, maybe from footy that you have and you just remember fondly and yeah, you want to share with the people?
Oh, this is probably not going to be funny to anyone else,
Yeah.
but I just thought it was
As long
such
as you think it's
I
funny.
thought it was a
yeah.
fun time. I thought it's actually part of one of my fears, which is really weird. And so
So it could be fears and
yeah,
in
linking
one.
two things, yeah,
Go ahead.
multitasking.
Yeah.
So it was I think I was about 13, maybe 14, and so
Yeah.
no, definitely 13. And I was in Tanzania, and we have like 4 dogs, 5 now. I know we're adding on.
Yeah.
And so I was gonna lock up everything and make sure that they're okay to like roam around the house and not get outside and go
Yeah.
loose. And so I didn't take the stairs to go down to where everything else was. I just jumped over like one of the plants, and I didn't have any shoes, and I didn't turn on the extra lights, and so I could just see vague shadows of everything. And my dogs were like roaming around me, so I'm like maneuvering around them.
Yeah.
And then I step on something, and it feels squishy. It feels alive, but like I didn't take much notice of it. So I decided to turn around and look at it,
Yeah.
and I see it hop, and I was like, ugh. And it was like one of those massive toads, and oh my gosh. And then
yeah.
out of nowhere, my body just like spazzes up, and I'm going crazy and like shaking, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I run inside the house to my mom and little sister who were in my mom's room just talking.
Yeah.
And I'm jumping up and down and freaking out because I just can't believe what happened. And I'm like, Mom, Georgia, I stepped on a frog. And they're like, okay, and I'm freaking out. I'm panicking because I stepped on a massive. Oh, wait, a toad is the bigger one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
massive.
there's
Yeah,
massive toads, and I'm like, oh, I just stepped on one, and it felt like it was like if you were to touch like something that's alive and you could feel its organs, but if you were to step on it, it's like you squished it and compressed it. It was so disgusting.
So did you kill it or?
No, it hopped. It was still alive. It went away, and ever since then, if I see a frog or a toad, my body just like it has like a muscle memory, like a reflex. It just like spasms. I'm like, no way. Oh, I can't deal with frogs.
PTSD,
Yeah.
minimal. Like I get what you mean.
Oh, it's so. Oh, I can't even talk about it. It's so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. So the funny story this week is toads.
Yeah.
Stepping. Yeah.
If
That's
anybody else can relate, we're on the same boat.
Yeah, I've stepped on squishy things, but maybe not toads. Like.
Yeah,
I don't know.
have you seen like one of those like little like satisfying balls that you press and like kind of like
Yeah,
it
but once
goes
that
in?
squish,
It's like stepping on that
I
but
think I might have
alive
stepped on
and real.
Yeah, and it like moves. Because
Yeah,
if you step on those balls, they wouldn't move unless
exactly.
you
And then
pushed it. Or yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, another interesting topic. Let's talk about I assume So you've got a phone, yeah?
I've got a phone.
You've got a phone, but
I've got a phone. So not
that's where
that
you
bad.
like log all your Strava and all that.
Yeah.
But Billy, no, you're like 15, yeah.
Yeah.
15, no social media. I probably got into social media. Might have been like year 7, but
Well, it's not like
yeah, and you're living perfectly fine without social media, and
I
just talk us
know.
through that.
I'm just like one of those outsiders.
Yeah.
I look in from you guys.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, when I was 9,
Amazing.
a friend of mine created an Instagram account for me.
Yeah.
It might still be up, but I don't even know.
You
It's been
just
so
forgot
long.
the password, all that.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I did forget the password and the username, but I had Instagram and my mom found out, and she like I think she's very scared of the effects of social media, of like
For sure.
because it's not that social media can completely be a bad thing. It has its benefits, its pros and cons, but like she said that I can't have Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, whatever it is. And like out of nowhere, she offered me Facebook, and I was like, I can't use Facebook. Nobody uses Facebook. It's for old people. and I asked her, can I get Instagram? She's like, no, you cannot get Instagram. And I'm just like,
Snapchat.
yeah, she hates Snapchat of all things.
Snapchat.
She hates the filters and all that. But a lot of my family members have actually tried to convince her. Like they're like, Billy's a responsible kid. She can like look after herself.
Yeah.
But I'm planning on asking her, but like I have to like make sure that I plan it well so she doesn't like cut me off and say, nope, you're not getting it.
Write a whole persuasive
Yeah,
text.
exactly. But it's so funny when like a lot of my friends plan their like meetings like outside like on Instagram, like if we're gonna meet out everywhere. So
they have to text you.
So they text me through WhatsApp, which is what I'm allowed to have.
Alright,
But a lot of people question like my parents. I don't live with my parents. I live with my dad's little sister, my aunt.
Yeah.
And so she like my some of my friends question why I don't just secretly get it behind their backs, and because they're like 1,000 kilometers away in Tanzania. And so I just think if they've trusted me enough to literally move me continents and like put that much faith for me into my future,
I couldn't do that.
I can't get to the point of disrespecting them that much. And even if I did one day and get Instagram or something behind their backs, it's like my mom is psychic. She can feel when I do something wrong.
Yeah, if you're like
but she will
way you
sense
talk
it.
or something like that.
She will notice those little things. Like she's so good at picking up my signals that even I don't know I put out. But I don't know. It's just it's not that I completely don't want to get it. I just feel like if I do get it, like I might get hooked, and then it will just spiral into me like concentrating on something else that I may not exactly need. And like if I've lived on to like 15 and I'm fine without it, then I can, because then I'm allowed to get it when I'm 18, and so I've got like 2 more years because I'm turning 16 this year.
Yeah.
I can do it. I can make it till then.
So is your challenge to wait till bang 18,
Instagram,
Snapchat,
get
everything,
Instagram, Snapchat, all that, and then rock up to my
God,
friends, be like, oh, guess what? But I don't know. It's pretty crazy. I mean, do you use social media a lot?
Yeah, quite a lot. Yeah. Like on school days, I try and keep it at a minimum, so it'd be like 2 hours or something. But on weekends sometimes I get carried away.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I have an app that I get carried away. It's called Pinterest. Some of my friends
Oh,
listening
really?
right
It's all
now.
the designs and stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Google, but like a little bit different.
Yeah.
So I get carried away with that app a lot. So that's my version of social media.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can actually get to there. It's getting harder because it's more tempting now. Like my friends planning the stuff and talking about stuff, and it feels like I'm left out. But like I created group chats on WhatsApp for them, but they don't even use it. So it's like no
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. True.
But I'm hanging on by a thread.
I remember Sol, yeah, good way.
Yeah.
Before we had social media, I had to text him on WhatsApp, and it was
Oh,
pretty, yeah. Sometimes,
I'm
yeah,
that friend. I'm that
yeah,
friend that you have to like like they always forget about me. They're like, "Oh, text Billy," and they text me on the day and I can't do
yeah.
stuff with them. Yeah, but I don't know. One day, we'll see one day.
Time maybe when you turn 16.
When
Oh,
yeah, when I turn 16, it can be my big 16
yeah, you
present. Get social
yeah,
media. Yeah.
yeah. Well, you're fine without it, so
I've lived
yeah.
on. Yeah, it's not like I don't think I'm missing out. Am I missing out on anything, really?
Not really. It's
Yeah.
just maybe getting a text like slightly earlier than usual. If
Yeah,
that makes
I mean
sense.
that's
Yeah.
the only thing that I could possibly like
Yeah, but
miss
you're
out.
fine.
But other than that, it's like the latest news get posted on like Instagram and like Snapchat is like basically like Messenger, but just take a photo and like write whatever it
Yeah,
is you need to write.
I just snap people and that's
Yeah,
all. Yeah,
exactly. Like um,
history
it's
stuff.
so weird because I have an older brother who's 21 and an older sister who's 16 and a little sister who's 10.
Yeah,
But my older sister is a year older than me, but she has
so she's my age.
yeah,
Yeah,
she has more privileges than I do, and so she can get social media and she can do a lot more stuff than I
yeah,
can. And so sometimes I just like I go on her phone or my older brother's phone
yeah.
and look through Instagram and like try teach myself these like stuff like streaks and streaks chat. I have no clue what streaks chat is. Like
Streaks.
I
I
am
could
so
explain. Yeah.
unknowledgeable with these things.
Yeah. So Instagram is just like texting, like WhatsApp,
Yeah,
and you can like post all that.
right. Yeah.
Snapchat is like you snap people, and if you snap them every day for 3 days, you get like a number next to it. And for me, my high streak is like 900, so
Is that good?
that's almost 2.5 years, which is crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um, and I was speaking to one of the teachers, like Macca, Ben, and all that. They
Oh
can't
no.
even keep a streak for like 2 days. It's pretty funny. And they're
Oh,
like, "How are you guys doing it?" Yeah, just social media these
yeah.
days. Yeah, we'll move on now.
Get caught up.
Yeah, talk to me about being a leader. So what's it like being a leader? Like, how do you class? Yeah, what's your leadership style? Like the actions you take to being a role model towards others.
Oh, that's a great question. I feel like being a leader is it's being the bigger voice. Being it's being the
Yeah,
mom of everybody when it's being the mom exactly being the mom of everybody and so
yeah,
it's you have there's like people who classify differently. There's like people who can speak up for themselves but they may not exactly get the point through, and then there's like the introverts who can't really they have great ideas but they just can't really get to
yeah,
voicing them, and so you need to be able to like support them but not also be like one of those bossy pushy leaders like, oh no, your idea is terrible, or like you can do better
yeah.
than that, come on.
Everybody like
Yeah,
comes together and all that. Yeah,
you need to like be able to like relate to them and talk to them kindly and be able to like if you were to add on improvements just speak to them from like a point of like their point of view. You don't want to be so harsh with them and you
yeah,
just want to kind of get the point through without screaming in their faces, and it's just it's being that voice that everyone needs.
yeah. No, it'll be good working with you this year. I feel like
Yeah.
we're pretty chill characters, and yeah, hopefully people don't hate on us or anything. But
Exactly,
yeah, we
like
should be fine.
I feel like and I feel like a lot of people do hate leaders sometimes because
Yeah, some
they're
people hate on me for being a leader.
exactly
I'm
like
like,
I'm
come on,
trying.
man,
We're trying to help you.
we're doing
I'm.
extra all this and
We
like,
have extra work on top of us. Like it's not. It's just like I feel like a lot of the time that you're trying to help them improve and they take it bad. They
yeah,
don't take it
yeah.
as like a
They
like
take
something
it
to learn
personally,
from.
like,
Exactly.
yeah,
We're not trying to be personal. We're just trying to like help you. Like give it like kind stuff.
yeah, like constructive, and we're not trying to attack you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh,
I don't know. Being a leader, it's got its ups and downs. Honestly,
yeah.
it's crazy.
Well, there might. I wasn't here yesterday, but I looked at the timetable or whatever. But there might be a leadership type camp? Did Kate
Oh
talk about
yeah.
that? So how's that gonna work?
Oh,
Briefly.
Mr. Vanovich has decided that it's the student's choice to have whether it's still at school or like no, not at school.
Not at school.
Not at school.
'Cause
Sorry.
last year some
with what
crazy.
happened
Yeah,
at
yeah. Were you there last
to
year?
all those who know,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
there. To all those who know,
Yeah,
you know
no,
what
we're
happened.
not, yeah,
We're
don't-
not
yeah,
we're not
nah.
gonna spill, but like we're gonna either have like a full day trip where we do something crazy, or like have like a 3 day camp or 4 days.
Nah,
But
3 day camp, we have to organise.
yeah,
something
exactly.
like that,
But
yeah.
you just have to
We
like
have to find
pay
it
money
and-
or like
Yeah,
depends
for
on what we
sure,
do. Yeah. But oh, it's gonna be so fun. I'm really excited for
Yeah,
it.
and that Bulldogs thing you should do if you want us to hear.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. They haven't sent out what day it's gonna
Oh,
be
true,
on.
but
So
you registered, yeah?
yeah, I
Yeah,
was. Yeah.
nah, yeah, good stuff.
I really want to do it. It's
Even
just
though-
whether if I have time or not
Yeah,
throughout the
yeah,
week.
true, because
Yeah.
it's in person. Well, you don't have to go every week, but yeah,
Oh okay.
it's good, yeah. Let's move on to what would have been your first day at high school, probably. Like, first day at high school in Tanzania and at Mac. How does that work? Like,
It's like a loop. It's like having
Tanzania.
first day at school all over again.
So you had 2 first days of school, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. First day of high school in Tanzania, it was really like normal. It was like going in because in Tanzania I have the school was just basically one big school. It's got its primary school in it. It's got its like we had like little school. We called it little school, which is like for all the preppies and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had our primary school and our high school all in the same area. But like, the little kids were separated a little bit, so we had primary and secondary right next to each other. So it wasn't really a big deal for me. It was just like moving in. It was like going from 5 to 6 or 4 to 5. It was just very simple and smooth and like
Yeah, yeah.
because I was so used to my old friends there. It was just so
Yeah.
like easy to transition. But moving from continents, moving like trying to find new friends, literally trying to wrap your head around there, and it was just so crazy. And so I oh my gosh, my first day I was so lost finding A block and finding the G blocks. I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know we had a girls' bathroom upstairs for 2 weeks. So I didn't go to the bathroom at all for 2 weeks in school, which you can imagine how annoying that would have been. But oh my gosh, it's just so crazy.
Or false, like you were meant to be in the VCP class, but did you? Or like,
I was going to be in your class.
Yeah, what happened?
And then I think I picked. I don't know what I did. I really can't remember what I did. I was meant to do. I think it was VC physical education or right.
Yeah.
And so I was gonna do it, but then I dropped it for I think it was chemistry or bio.
So pre
chem or pre-bio. But
alright.
I don't know. I really wished I did that class because
So it's like kind of true, but like it was more blocking issues.
it was more blocking issues. It was either do that or lose. It was pick a VCA class or lose a pre-VCA class or lose math. So you kind of like I was trying to think of it like what classes are my priorities and what do I need.
Yeah,
like,
I know you love your science.
Yeah,
more than your
exactly.
PE.
Yeah, I mean.
Quick hands, which is a new type of segment. It's like those who play footy, like handball, quick hands.
Yeah.
It'll be 5 quick questions. So Billy, pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Oh my gosh. A lot of people hate pineapple on pizza, which I don't understand. I feel like it's like it has that extra little bit of like sweetness or like juicy
it's like
flavor.
sweet and savoury
Yeah,
together.
exactly.
I don't mind that. I'm this as well, yeah.
Definitely.
Now footy, 15 metres out, let's say, I don't know, like slight angle. Would you snap for goal or would you just go the trusty drop punt?
Oh, I feel like I would go. Is it depending on me? Is it like end of the game depending on me?
Well, it could be any scenario.
Any scenario. But if it was just like in between the game, I would like kick it to somebody else because.
Kick it to somebody.
Yeah.
I'd go for goal.
No, like, I get to myself in my head. I'm just like, what if I kick it?
What if I miss? What if
I miss? And everyone's just like, oh no, boo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, kick it to somebody else definitely.
Yeah, that's very selfless. I'd be selfish and go for goals. So yeah, that's
You're
me.
being kind. But
you're full forward, isn't it?
I know. I should be more confident in myself. Act confident. No one will question you.
What's the house you hate the most?
In school?
Yeah, in school.
Athena, hands down. Mr. Ben and Soul can come after me. I seriously, Athena.
Yeah.
For different reasons, but.
Yeah, like, I don't mind so like Maz with people there, but like I just hate they're like our arch enemies, like
Exactly, yeah.
because Artemis and Apollo,
Ar-
they're trash, you know.
yeah, exactly.
Like
I
who
feel like Artemis
cares?
and Apollo just are there, but we
Yeah,
acknowledge Athena more. Yeah.
yeah, and I just hope this year we can go back to back and yeah, just
Yeah.
keep going
I
pretty
kind of
much.
wish we like go neck on neck just to make it interesting, so we're just not like winning all the time.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it is neck and neck right now, so
yeah.
yeah.
Like right now, it's like we're just like look at Mr. Ben when he walks past and give him the dirty eye.
Yeah. I'll just ignore him.
Just
I'll
ignore him.
walk
Yeah,
straight
yeah.
past him and
Walk
be like,
straight past.
nah. Yeah. What are your future career goals
Oh,
then?
if I have
Scientist or?
yeah, I think I have my whole future planned out, which is like pretty weird for a
Yeah,
15-year-old.
incredible. Yeah, yeah.
My plan is to get into medical school and do that, and then specialize in pediatric surgery. So for all those who don't know what that is, it's basically surgery on little children, or usually like um, children to about teenage years, maybe young adult.
Yeah.
So just specializing in that area specifically.
So would that be like surgery, like around
Yeah.
any? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. I haven't. I don't know what part of the body I want to focus on most, but like just overall right
just to
now.
help people anyway.
Yeah,
It's a really good career
it's
to help
really
people.
just to help everyone. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, and who's your favorite teacher?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's hard, but yeah.
Top favorite
Oh,
is
you can name
Mr. Ben.
Mr. Ben.
He knows he's my top favorite.
Oh.
Because him and I don't treat him like a teacher. Honestly,
As a friend, yeah.
I treat him as a friend.
Yeah,
We have a
true.
handshake, and he got me into Mooney Valley, and
Yeah, true.
so him and I are just on different terms. And then I've got Macca, then Miss Page. Like
So all the PE teachers.
all I don't. It's all the
yeah.
PE teachers. Honestly, they're just so chilled and mellow.
Yeah.
No, wait, not mellow, but like you know what I
like
mean. Yeah,
they're relatable and yeah.
exactly. They're like talking to kids.
Yeah, you have to join that PE class next year if you can. Like if there's
I
no
will
blocking
try
issues,
to. Yeah.
the banter in that class, it's like it's a funny in SAC questions. It's like today we had a practice SAC, like Jerry, da 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 da. In yeah, it was pretty funny.
Is it pre-VC right now?
No, it's VC.
Oh, 1 and 2.
1 to 4 in the same class. So I'm doing
Oh,
3 and 4, and there's other kids who are doing 1 and 2. We're all combined, but
I
we're
should
doing
have
different.
joined.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll do it next year.
yeah.
Definitely. I'll
Anyway,
try to.
so interesting. Your favorite teachers are all PE teachers. I didn't know that. Mine would be different.
What are yours?
Macca number 1.
Oh.
Mr. Vanovich Kate for sure with the leadership stuff. Number
Oh
2.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And number 3. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Buckian probably
Oh,
because
he's
he's just
really
chill
nice.
and
He's
yeah,
so chill.
gives a lot of homework though. Might.
Oh,
Yeah,
darn
yeah. Yeah, speaking of homework, let's talk about study habits because you're a great example. A few people have said you ask for like extensions, which is the right way to go
Yeah.
to achieving the top marks. And yeah, talk us through
I
that.
feel like teachers are annoyed at me for always asking for
Really?
extensions.
Nah,
I really do.
probably.
Sometimes you ask for extensions and like, really? Do you really want it? Have you done everything? But I feel like homework. Homework can be what's the word? Homework can be like divided into two like spots. There's like homework where you want to get things done for school, and then there's homework where you want to get things done as in to prepare you for the
Yeah,
next
so
class.
there's homework and there's study. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how
homework
I
and study.
kind
Yeah,
of, yeah.
exactly. And so I do homework, but like homework is like what you haven't finished in class and like what a teacher
Yeah.
actually puts out for you to do. And then there's studying to get you those extra points that will boost you. And there's like little things for extra credit. And like if you're on your best side of your teacher, then they will give you extra credit because
Yeah.
trust me, it works. And then there's like doing stuff before class just to get you ahead and like have more knowledge of the topic that you're going to be doing. Yeah.
Yeah, and what are some tips for those who may not be the best at studying? For me, I do like checklists, so I'd have sticky notes, write down
Yeah,
stuff,
I
and
do
tick it
too.
off.
Yeah,
Feels so good.
the satisfaction.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's what I
god.
like to
It's
hear.
like, oh, done.
Is that what you do as well?
Yeah, I do. I
Yeah.
actually have a whiteboard in my room, so it's like
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Just rub it out once you're done.
I got that through a bet from my cousin. So I just managed to get it in, and it only
Yeah.
just fits in my room.
Oh, that's good.
But anyway, some tips that I would give are don't get overwhelmed. Like homework and studying can be really overwhelming, and just like split it up into small parts that you know that you can get done.
Yeah.
And just so tackle one bit at a time and literally set out time where you have no choice but to do that specific thing. And if you like listening to music, because like I listen to
Yes.
instrumental jazz when I'm doing homework because it helps me focus.
And there's no lyrics as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't understand when people can listen to like rap and other things while doing homework. It distracts you
Yeah.
even when you think that you're not distracted. Like you're not putting all your focus.
Yeah, I don't
So
know.
have like maybe some people don't like music. It's all right with you, but just like split it up into little tasks that you can complete. Lists are amazing, and there's Google Keep that you can use on like a
Like devices and
yeah, it's like an Chrome extension or something like that.
Is that notes pretty much?
Yeah, I'll show you
Oh
later on.
yeah. No, I've seen it.
And so it just helps you keep track of all your homework and stuff. But like if you're one of those kids who strive like to get extra points, or, like try to get your best reports because
Yeah,
you
I'm
know
gonna
like
try and do that.
yeah, all those little things. I feel like it's all the little things that add up to like make the best.
That's
like
a really good
yeah,
analogy.
if this is making any sense to anybody, but like
Makes sense to me.
yeah. And so
Oh,
extensions, be careful with extensions. I know that some of my teachers are always saying that you have to be really careful with what you ask for. Make sure that you have all your work done before, like all the set out work from class, and go through slides, like write down your notes and everything, all that you need. Clear notes are important.
yeah.
And so and then afterwards get your extensions to learn more about the topic, and if it's possible, try learn about the topic prior to the teacher like explaining it in class. Like I'll give you an example. For like in chemistry right now we were doing like polarity and electronegativity can't talk,
Yeah,
and like atoms and all that. Like watch a YouTube video about it. Like even if it's a 5-minute YouTube video, at least you know the basics. And so the teacher is like, oh, this kid, like she's smart or he's smart, like they know what they're doing already. Maybe I can like try extend their knowledge, and then you have that extra credit from your teacher, and they already think that you're a great student. And like it's just like being your best at all times, which sounds really difficult, but if you've put in the work at home and if you put in
Yeah.
the work at school, it really does. It's not that hard, honestly.
Yeah, for me, I feel like I'm consistent. Like coursework, everything's done
Yeah.
all the time, like similar to you. But probably like studying, like picking the right things to study about to get me in the best position for the SAT.
Yeah.
You probably be better at that, I reckon.
I'm, I'm a little bit behind with my work right now,
Yeah.
exposing myself. But
Yeah.
it's really like having like a study planner is really hard to control with like what happens throughout the day. And so you can't really set out like today I'm going to do math, tomorrow is English, like for every week,
Yeah, it's
because it
about
changes, it varies.
yeah.
And so you just have to be flexible with yourself and know if you need to wake up early and put in that extra time for like short-term gain, like short-term loss,
Short
long-term.
v long, yeah.
Yeah,
all that,
you know what
yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you just need to like sometimes it's just sacrifices. You need to remind yourself you're doing this now to benefit you later. Yeah. A lot of people think that taking like opportunities is lame. Like for example, right now I'm doing the coursework support sessions. It's not that I need it
that's
as
like
much.
after school.
Yeah, it's not that I need it as much. It's just you have to like learn that if these things are offered to you for free, then take them on, because like that's tutoring, and tutors are like $100 or like $50 per session, and so they're really expensive.
Yeah.
And if you have like we're so lucky to have Mac like that gives you like people come in every day to help and support you. And if you have those opportunities that other kids don't have, then obviously take them on. And don't think about your friends that like, oh, you go to the coursework support sessions or you must be failing, you're dropping down. Like if even if you are, take them on as a way to like prove them wrong and prove yourself wrong, and like be the best you can be, like better version of yourself.
Yeah, that's really good.
You get
Yeah,
one life.
extensions,
Exactly.
extensions, yeah. North Melbourne also offer homework support sessions for
Yeah,
free
I
as
heard.
well. So if you're interested, you could do them as well. Yeah, just like down the line. Um, the new segment. I don't know how well this will go, but anyway, let's talk about whatever comes to mind right now. Like, is there a topic you want to discuss that I haven't talked about yet, or just any topic? Yeah. Let's talk about friends, guys.
I
The
don't
new
know what else is
segment.
going on.
Yeah,
for me.
yeah, true.
Let's talk about good friends and bad friends.
Yeah, so I'll start off
Help
with
me
good
build
friends, I
on from
guess.
this because
Like
I don't know what I'm saying.
yeah, like good friends are people who you trust, see as like a family figure, and like a friendship that will probably last past high school and
Yeah,
for life. Yeah, and like you can like talk about your biggest secrets. Yeah, I've laid out a
exactly.
few to my mates, but yeah, and you want to talk about bad friends and what
Yeah,
are
because I know right now I have great friends. Like, wouldn't trade them for the world. Like,
it's
love
amazing.
those guys. And so, you just for some other people, they have to be careful with what friends they make because maybe it's because you've drifted off because something bad's happened, or I don't know, you're just at a different chapter of your life. You have to be careful of like who you hang out with because have you heard like because I sometimes listen to like motivational speeches.
Okay. Yeah, I've listened.
This one motivational speech one time, and this guy was like, show me your friends and I will show you your future, or like I will show you who you are. So you are who you hang around with, and you are who three most people you hang
Yeah,
around with,
damn.
if that makes sense. So if you're one of those people who hangs out with the kids that skip classes or do drugs or insult other people, the bullies, you just that's even though you don't realize it, that impacts you a lot. Like you will start making those little changes, like adding on those little insults that are more than jokes. You just become you become really weird and bad, and you think it's cool but it's really not. So you have to be really careful with who you hang around with.
Yeah, that quote hit like
Mm.
I think I remember that like the three people you hang out the most like define who you are kind
Yeah,
of yeah.
it's funny because like uh, I'm gonna like rewind back to like the past couple of topics because
Yeah, yeah,
when
go
I'm
for
running, I feel like when I'm running, I get really bored because it's just like,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I know it's
Relatable,
weird.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I talked to so and so was like, I take in the scenery and all that. And I'm like, I get bored.
He
I'm just
takes in the
running.
scenery,
He's
what?
he's like, oh, Soul is like on a different level like to humans, but
Yeah, he
like
loves his environment and all
exactly,
that,
he's
yeah.
a legend by the way. And
Yeah, yeah.
anyway, I listen to I can't listen to like music or like upbeat music because like it hurts my head while I'm running,
Yeah.
and so I listen to motivational speeches. That helps me because it's like,
Oh
oh, I
yeah.
might as well stop now because my legs are tired, and I'm like, and the motivational speech would go like, you only have one life left, keep going, and I'm just like, oh, fine, so I keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how I got into it, but it's like it's from all these like successful people who like have made so much of their life from so little, and even if you have so
Amazing.
much already, like they managed to build like their own empire because all that you have now is all that your parents have given you. And in a couple years, you will be leaving their house, and you have to make a life for your own, and eventually support your kids if you do decide to have kids. And so you want to make as big as of an impact as you can. So like building something of yourself, making sure that you can make the best of everything that you have to offer.
Yeah, and I've got this.
Not motivational, but determined. You also some people you will eventually crash, and that will happen to a lot of people a couple
Yeah,
times.
it's happened.
You have to have like friends to bounce back. So like with this thing, if you crash, Soul and I may not crash before you. And
Oh,
I'm just saying, like I'm just no, if it all works out,
yeah,
like one of us is gonna crash and be like, oh, maybe this isn't gonna happen, or like one of us will lose like
yeah.
some
If we
like
make this, yeah,
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 we have to
hypothetically,
have
yeah,
each other's back and be like, no, we've come too far to like give up. Like you didn't come this far to only come this far.
that's
You
true.
wanted to gain more from it. And so just make sure, like going back to the three people who define you, like show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Make sure you have the right people around you who show you the
Bang
right
on, yeah.
way. Yeah. Sorry, I've drifted
Yeah,
off. I'm
that's right.
sorry.
So do you picture like maybe Soul and maybe a few others? Do
Mm.
you reckon that could be a possible
I
project?
definitely think it could be a
Yeah, that
possibility.
could.
Yeah. And so we'll
Yeah,
we'll just
well,
like
yeah,
build it up from the ground and
yeah,
like
eventually, yeah,
yeah.
because I thought it's a good idea to get other people involved as well and
Yeah,
who have the same kind of mentality. Yeah.
exactly.
What's next for you in 2021? Like, what are your top three goals?
Oh, my top three goals. My top three goals are definitely to do a lot better academically than I did last year. So not only to make my family and um, my family and parents proud, but to also like make myself proud and say I did this because of hard work and determination. I got here because I sacrificed hours that people didn't see, and they only saw me going into class and listening to the teacher and saying, "Oh, you're smart, you can do this because you understand right now. It's like, no, I'm smart because I put in 5 extra hours the day before yesterday, and yesterday when you were out there watching Netflix.
Fuck, I love that. Yeah.
I should like be a motivational speaker. Anyway, so that be more academically focused and like make better of what I can, of things that I can control,
Yeah.
and also become more fit and healthier, learning that you only have one body that you live in your life, and if you have a choice of whether what you can put into it every day, like eating, and what you can do to better it, like exercising, then you should be able to like make the right decisions. And I'm not saying that it's bad to eat junk or eat unhealthy food, because you do need a break what you put into your body. So if you do have a choice of what you get to eat every day, and if sometimes you don't get a choice, then you need to be careful with like whatever you eat or whatever you exercise, because you really do need to think about it. It's like, if I were to die in the next 10 minutes, would I be happy with what I've done for my body, for myself, for your life? Exactly. It's like, because none of us know if tomorrow is going to happen. So why not just like try do everything as best as you can within like the limits that you have?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying like go on a 10K run right now. It's like you have to make these gradual like changes.
Well,
Like,
do 2K for a year. Build
yeah,
up.
yeah,
You just
just
can't
go
just go
slowly.
straight. Yeah.
Like me 2 years ago, like 3 years ago, I was like running, but like when I was younger, I did cross countries and everything, and
I was so bad
dropped,
at cross country.
yeah,
Yeah.
I dropped down for like some time, and then
Yeah.
during the past 3 years, I've been trying to like build it up. So school, my health and fitness, and just, oh, how do I describe this one? I would describe this one as just by saying me meaning like
So like yourself. Yeah.
me
Like
meaning, yeah,
your
myself,
own
my
health.
own self,
Yeah.
by
Exactly.
benefiting like reading to improve my knowledge, or like working to like get like save up money for like if I choose to move out like straight after when I'm 18, or like financially support myself, be independent, and like, you can read books as like leisure books, like, all the genres, like classical, all those, and then there's books that you could read um like Big Magic is like a book that like supports like self-help books. Rare would have talked about that a lot. I know she really loves them.
Yeah. I
And
think so.
so
Yeah.
they just, even though you think you're going in the right direction, which you may be, it's always nice to gain new knowledge or new information on what people have done to be successful. If your way is through reading books, or reading or listening to podcasts, or watching YouTube videos, because I do all three, and like sometimes you just don't want to read, and like you just like you're clean, like let's say you're doing chores and you're cleaning, and you can't literally read and clean at the same time. Podcast, YouTube video, you find ways to like squeeze in those extra little bits of like ways to better yourself.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
pretend I'm doing dishes, maybe have a podcast going on at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing, yeah.
So like later on when you choose to like edit this podcast, you could listen to like another podcast to help you out. I've got some podcast recommendations for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, send them through. Yeah, and what you said just before about like the hours you put into your study, like let's say 5 more hours than like your next competitor. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like imagine you put like 5 hours every day, and the next best person like um went like 2 hours per day.
Exactly.
That
Yeah.
like the whole year, that'd be like so many more hours of dedication, and when it hits exam time, you'll be
Yeah.
like so ready for
Exactly.
that.
I watched this
Amazing.
YouTube video the other day, and there was this guy. Like, med school is a highly competitive environment.
Yeah, 8 times like 90.
Crazy,
Yeah.
yeah. And so this guy, he was failing in high school. He said it himself that he was like down there. He was really low, and he was trying to like. He said, "I'm gonna go into uni. I'm gonna do this because I want to help people." And so he was in uni, and he could already see that he was falling behind, and he noticed that one of the kids was one of the smartest kids. Like, you notice those kids. They're always easy to spot.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
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 And so he started putting in the hours, and he went into the library. He would be the first person in, one of the first people in anyway, spend like a majority of his day there, and he would be the last person walking out. And one day he was walking out, and he saw this smart kid walking out, and that's when he knew that he was doing something right. Because if you know that you're getting close to putting in the right hours, then like if you're putting in more hours, then obviously you're gonna do some like it's gonna give you like the right impact. And
Yeah.
but you also don't want to like just say, oh, I'm studying and look at your notes. Like you have to make sure you're studying the right way.
Yeah, like properly.
Exactly.
Yeah, and just like the school captain, I think he's been there for like the past hour.
Yeah,
I literally
exactly.
saw him. I'm like,
This is how you know these
dedication.
people
Yeah.
get through. Oh, Brendan, right?
Yeah, Brendan. I reckon
Brendan is a genius.
he's gonna get the Ducks this year.
Yeah, definitely. Like
Our predictions.
nobody sees. I come into school sometimes working in
And
the
he's
morning.
already there.
He's already there. He's
dedication.
already doing work. Like Brendan is one of those kids who put in the hours before and after school. Like right now, when he goes home, he's probably gonna have like an hour to like relax his brain and then do an extra work.
Yeah.
It's only you only ever see what people show you in that moment or what they let you see.
Yeah.
Like you don't see the hard work, the determination, the crashes, the
Oh,
picking themselves
yeah.
up constantly. Like you only see what's right there in front of you. And
Yeah.
yeah, this is why a lot of people shouldn't make like predictions or like assumptions of what people are
Because
in
you
that
don't know
moment.
unless
No,
you're there
at
with
all.
them.
You don't know
see
their
them doing
journey.
it.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Sure. And finally, the last question. You can ask me one question, Billy. Far away could be anything except the potty.
One question. Do you have a plan for your future? Like, do you know what areas you want to go into?
Yeah, sort of. I want to get into media and communication, so that's like doing
Wow.
podcast journalism or that,
Yeah.
and sports as well, because I love my sports.
Mm.
See where that takes me, but I might want to try and do a gap year maybe after high school.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what I'll do, but see from there. Then
Yeah.
head into media, but if media doesn't work out, then maybe like do youth work or something. That helps like other kids our age and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Community work is.
That's a great idea.
I remember doing so many programs like still like with North Melbourne, and most of them are youth workers who do that type of work. So.
Yeah, it's amazing the time they give in for people.
Yeah, so if media doesn't work 100%, I'll do that. And it's kind of like giving back as well, but as a profession, which is amazing.
Can
Yeah,
I give you some advice?
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like such a mom right now. If
Yeah.
you my sister was planning into like she wanted to introduce sports and like AFL to other countries in the world as
Yeah.
like her thing when she's outside of like out into uni.
Yeah,
And
it's
so
good.
she wanted to do like a gap year and travel, see the world, whatever it is that she wanted to do. And then that was like her idea for like 5 years. Like she knew what she wanted to do.
Yeah,
And she recently gained a new perspective from different people, and she just thought gap years are amazing and they work differently for everybody, obviously.
for sure.
And she just knew that for herself, with the way that she learns, if she leaves school for a year to go back into school again, she won't be able to focus as well or like concentrate as much or put in the right amount of effort.
Yeah,
But obviously, some people can, and I'm sure you would be
yeah,
able to.
yeah. No, it's a good
But
perspective.
yeah, exactly. It's just it's something else to think about. But like also, if you want to like help out the community or like create like one day maybe if you think about creating your own brand or business that supports young people. This is like
Yeah,
Jerry
yeah,
when
yeah,
he
yeah.
becomes rich and
Oh,
famous, like
baby,
forgetting
yeah.
us and everything. Like it's always I think it's important to have to learn business because this is from me being a very classic human
Go
being.
ahead. No,
Because with my classic music taste, I also listen to Cardi B sometimes. I know, come at me, judge me.
no,
But
yeah.
I watched this one YouTube video that it was like motivational, but she just happened to be in it, and she said she wishes in high school so much that she did business because now she has people who manage her money. She pays those people to manage her money, so she's losing money, and she pays people to do all the things that she didn't learn because she couldn't support herself in her own business. And so it's like even for me going into medicine, I obviously want to take it in business because we have no idea if like the choices we're making now will even happen in the future. Like something crazy might happen and we might change our minds and decide different things for ourselves. But
Yeah.
if you know that you have knowledge, even like a little bit knowledge in business to support yourself one day with whatever it is that you want to do, then at least you know that if someone else is saying something to you, they're not bribing you, they're not taking money from you, like you know what you're doing. You know what to expect exactly.
Yeah, and yeah, for those who want to get like more involved in business, highly recommend doing business management, which I'm doing right now. And yeah, it just gives you a whole better perspective on managing your money, all the
Yeah,
business ventures,
exactly.
and yeah, you should do it as well.
I'm
Yeah,
definitely going to do it next year for
'cause,
sure.
yeah, I remember I was going to do HHD. I got like a class involved with, and and I was like, business is more essential for like the
Yeah,
future, so I just chose that instead.
that's good.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for tuning into the Jez and Friends podcast. Remember, push yourself because no one else is gonna do it for you. Yeah, Bilhah, I've learned so much about like different topics, like yeah, that
Yeah.
won't talk about too much, like motivation,
Drift
all
off
that.
again.
Yeah. Um, got a like greater insight into how you work. Yeah, and some good study tips as well. But yeah, thanks for sparing some time to jump on a podcast, and yeah, best wishes for what lies ahead.
Thank you. It was so nice.